Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back once again to Fat Cat Collections. Happy holidays, happy December. I love this time of year. Love it. There's so many good deals out there, which is where I'm going with this video. RGMT. RGMT watches, killer watch brand. Number one complaint that I get from my subscribers: pricing's too high, right? Let's face it, if you're watching my channel, you have somewhat of a brain in your head, right? Right? If you're watching my channel and you like my content about watches, let's just keep it focused on watches, you have some sort of critical thinking, some sort of reasoning skills, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this channel. You'd be like, oh no, I need a Rolex, right? So, with that being said, one thing that, again, you guys tell me all the time when it comes to the brand RGMT is the pricing, right? We know you guys are the ones who are spending money on brands like Addy's Dive, on brands like Invicta, on brands like Aragon, and I hear it time and time again. It's hard to deviate from those brands, mainly, especially if you like the big watches, Invicta and Aragon, right? It's hard to deviate to other brands when the pricing is just so good with Aragon and Invicta. You know, and that's something I've kind of dealt with over the years. You know, and it's easier for me to say now because I get these watches for free, right? So it's a little bit different. But back to Invicta, like I've never got a free Invicta. I've never got a free Aragon. But I still love those brands. They're still awesome watches. And a lot of times when I'm going to spend my own money on a watch, pricing is a factor, right? It's not because I can't afford a $10,000 watch, although that is a stretch for me. I'm not going to me, that would be pissing away hard-earned money, right? Hard-saved money. But regardless, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just not going to spend that. It doesn't matter how much money I ever may save or be able to make. I'm not going to spend that much money on a watch. I've said it many times, the only way I would buy a Rolex is if I hit the Powerball and had $300 million in my bank account and I wanted a solid gold watch just to feel the weight of the gold, right? That's the main reason, and the status with the watch brand. Other than that, I wouldn't buy it for quality. I wouldn't buy it for accuracy. I wouldn't buy it for reliability. All those things you can get for this price, right? Which I'm going to share with you guys because right now this watch is on sale. RGMT, again, the pricing, many people, hey, love the watch, want to buy it, not going to spend $1,400 on a watch. Not going to spend $700 on one of those watches because I can get an Aragon, I get an Invicta that the quality is there. I'm happy with the quality, right? And I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that get RGMT because the quality is better. It's not. It's on par. If you like Aragon and you like Invicta, you will appreciate and like the quality of RGMT. Same with Boulevard and Citizen, all those other brands. They're all pretty friggin' similar. But I get where you're coming from. So I'm glad I mentioned this to the owner, and I said it in another RGMT video. They're working on the pricing structure. So they have a 75% off sale right now. My coupon works on top of it. I don't know if they know that. Don't change it, RGMT. Great pricing. So let's just get to it. All right, so this is the Altimeter. I reviewed a different variation of this months ago, maybe a year ago, in all stainless steel. They do have many variations, but right now, the sale, 30% off code will work on anything. Take advantage of it. But it'll work on the sale pricing too. So what do you get with this? So this one here, again, Altimeter. This one is the Sandblasted blue. The color on this is awesome. It's very subtle. If you're not a guy who is super flashy, you know, you don't want the gold, you don't want the bright stainless steel, this is a very nice, subdued, almost graphite-like color. It has a titanium look, but it's darker, right? I wouldn't think this is titanium, but it kind of has that vibe going. Very subdued. What I really dig about it, it's very unique in the color combination. I like the fact they have a skeletonized face, which appears to be almost like behind a slightly cloudy or tinted layer of some sort, where you see that it looks like it's like a gold movement in there. I'm not really 100% sure, but it appears to be like gold, but it's subtle. Like you have to kind of really look at it to see that skeletonized face. And then you have these icy blue indices, which this is a unique color combination. I don't have anything like this in my collection, and nor have I seen much out there or anything that looks like this. So I totally dig it. It really makes the ice blue stand out on that just really like matte finish, sandblasted titanium graphite look. And then on the back they hit you with that kind of radar red exhibition window showing off the movement. Now movement on this, I don't know what it is. I'm going to guess and say it's a Miyota. I'll try to get you a spec sheet. The one I reviewed the other day, the Albright, the big 54 millimeter, that one is a Miyota. So I'm assuming this is, and by looking at the rotor, to me it looks like it's what I've seen on many Miyota watches. So again, if you're on the fence about it, remember, just because, so just kind of keep this in mind. Ponder this for a second. Just because it's like when you look at a Seiko NH35, for instance, right? Seiko NH35 is a clone produced by Seiko of a Seiko movement under a different model number. But they have the NH35 as movements they source out and they sell to companies looking to put them in watches, right? So this is not rocket science here. There are many companies out there, Chinese companies, who make no-name brand movements that just copy the mechanics behind an NH35 or a Miyota. It's just as good. It's, remember, this is not rocket science here. You don't, these things are, companies tool up, they have machines to make this stuff, and they're made with precision. So if you get an off-branded movement, it's not like you have to really worry about the watch failing. Everybody's making good stuff nowadays. But if it's important to you, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that, but I don't think it should be. So, especially for this price point. And are you ready for the price point? Let me just show you guys. Let me entice you a little bit. Got that big square case, and I'm a huge fan of square watches because there's not a lot of them out there. Totally dig this one. We have a milled clasp, very cool. Safety push button deploying clasp. I like the fact they put that in all their RGMT watches that I'm aware of. Again, just a simple, beefy, big square automatic watch. I love it. I was splendidly surprised when I pulled it out of the box. All right, so pricing on this right now, right? $259, but that does not include the Fat Cat Collections 30% off coupon code, $181. If you have been looking to add an RGMT watch to your collection, now is the time to do so. I hope that they continue on with this pricing structure and making these watches super competitive. What do you get? Let's go to the specs on this. So we have 3/16 stainless steel. We have that automatic movement. We have a 46 millimeter case diameter. Remember, a square watch is always going to wear a little bigger. If you're used to 50s, this is going to feel more like a 50 because you have that 46 millimeter, not in just a round orientation, but a square, right? What else? 13 millimeter case thickness, not over the top, kind of standard. They say this is a gray dial. Hopefully you can see by the video, and definitely check out the pictures on their site. It's a good representation of what you're going to get. 10 ATMs of water resistance, 2-year international warranty. That's about it. Without further ado, this baby's going on the wrist. I love this piece. I swear, I feel like a kid on Christmas morning every time I open a box from the post office. Check that out. Just a badass piece. And this would be badass no matter what color it's in, right? But I don't know. This is just so unique with that graphite, that gun, almost like a gun metal, I'd say, with that ice blue. I just totally dig it. All right, so box. They did change the boxing. Normally RGMTs came in one of these boxes. Some of them still do, but I dig that they kind of modernized it a little bit. Check it out. It's probably a little bit cheaper to manufacture, I'd say. I'd say it's not quite as thick plastic. And this one here, it still has the rubber seal, so you can use this for, I'd say this is not as tough as the original box. This, I don't know which one this came. This doesn't come with an orange strap. This was from a different watch. But you do get the push pin tool. You do get a strap, I think. Let me put that aside. Let me just double check on their site because... yeah, it looks like this one. I'm sorry, I misspoke. This is the one RGMT that comes with a flashlight. And so some of you might think this is kind of corny. I don't, because I'm a sucker for a good flashlight. I can never find a flashlight when I need one. And what I like about this, it's rechargeable. So, again, you can buy these all over Amazon, but I like the fact they included that. And it's an adjustable. I'm not going to make the video about the flashlight, but you do have LEDs on the front, adjustable, zoomable beam, and of course LED on the side. I mean, I would much rather have this than another strap that I'm not going to use. So kudos to RGMT for doing something a little different. So totally dig it. Totally appreciate the flashlight. I know my mom saw it. She's like, I could use a light like that. So Christmas time. But anyway, just a badass watch. Now, for purpose of the video, I mentioned every single video. 7-inch wrist, 5'8", about 172 pounds. This is what it looks like on a guy my size, my height, my weight. And you can see, when you compare it to like a standard, like this one here, I think is a 47 millimeter, another RGMT. You can see, it definitely, these are both, I'm not going to say these are small watches, but they're not you know, that is subjective. But you can see, just having it square, it has a much larger presence on it. The Ohio's badass too. And again, folks, the pricing, I was actually really surprised when I was doing the other video on the Albright. I didn't think that the 30% coupon code was going to work on top of their sale. It does, so check it out. Get it while you can. These are not going to last. And so just so you guys know, some of the other model watches they have on sale are, and specifically to this model, let me just go back for a second. See if I can. Okay, holiday sale. They do have this on strap if you want it, on like a leather strap. They do have several other. The orange is pretty cool. It's like it's like the same color case with like bright orange indices. They have this one with, it's called Sandblast Black, which has more of like a yellow indices. I think that this one is the best one they make. I love the ice blue, and I think you guys will too. And other than that, the real focus is on the Albright, the big 54 millimeter, which I know some of you guys are going to cop that up because not a lot of people are making 54 millimeter watches besides Invicta. And let's face it, you know, I love Invicta, don't get me wrong, but I have a lot of Invictas, so I'm always looking outside the box, trying to add something new to my collection. That's the fun about collecting watches, is to add new stuff to your collection, right? Don't get me wrong, you can collect one brand, but I think at one point, when you have, you know, 50, 60, 100 Invictas, you might want to add a different brand. You know, kind of venture out a little bit. So, but by all means, always buy what you like, buy what makes you happy, and check out RGMT. I know you won't be disappointed. So, thanks for watching. Happy holidays, and take care.